Hey there, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm really hoping that you will stay tuned because we're going to be talking about July 2022. Why is July a little bit more of an impact than maybe June was? Well, it's karmic debt season again. So we hope that you'll stick around so you can learn everything you need to know on how to navigate your way through July of 2022. Hey there, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us. My guest today, once again, is Susan Saucier. Hey, Susan, how are you?
I am good, and how are you?
I'm doing great. Good to see you again.
Same here.
So Susan and I have been doing our monthly forecast now for a little while, and she is a spiritual coach, transformation coach, who is a fantastic medium amongst many other things. But she always adds so much to my numerology report. So collectively, we're going to share with you what's coming up for you in July of 2022. You do not want to miss this message. It's very, very important that you listen up because you'll be really happy that we gave you a little bit of a heads up. So this is July is the 7th month of the year. And we know that 2022, when we add 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2, it comes up to 6, right? So 6 is the universal year. So when we add the 7 and the 6 together, it comes to 13. It's not just a 4 universal month next month. It's going to be a 13-4 universal month, so in July. So this brings in a little bit of karmic influence that might cause you to feel a little bit more stuck than what you'd like, right? But feeling stuck is always a choice. So last time I checked, the universe is not going to stop the planet from spinning because you're feeling stuck. They're not going to go, hey, whoa, she's feeling stuck, stop the planet, right? It's not going to happen. So how we choose to respond to it is really going to be what creates the reality that we experience. So when we look at the 4, typically the 4 is a little bit more rigid than what the 3 was. Remember, June of 2022, that was a 3 universal month, maybe a little bit more social, a little bit more creative, maybe a little scattered, but a much lighter energy than what the 4 is. The 4 says it's time to get back to work. We got to focus a little bit more. But we've got to be very careful that we focus on what it is we want to bring closer, because that's the trickster, if you will, of that number 13. So it's saying that you might have a tendency to not feel like doing anything. You might feel like you just want to crawl under a rock and don't come out until August. Well, that's probably not going to serve you very well. But that 13 says, I'm feeling a little bit stuck. I don't know which direction to go in. When we break down that code, the 1, 3, and 4, the 1 is all about you developing confidence in yourself, right? The 3 is about learning how to communicate and express yourself without ridicule, to be a little easier on yourself. And then the 4, of course, is about creating that foundation that you're looking for. So the tendency under that 13-4 is to start and stop and start and stop and not really finish what you start, right? So for that reason, you might be procrastinating a little bit. That's not going to serve you very well. Last time I checked, you got to put your best foot forward so that you can get moving. Excuse me, but the 4 can be actually a really helpful energy if you're trying to get something done, but it does ask you to be very focused on the details, especially as it relates to your work. It's kind of like being in Mercury retrograde in a sense. You got to check, and recheck, right? So dot your I's and cross your T's and don't take on more than you need to, but finish what you start is going to be really important. But it's, we only get this energy a couple of times a year. So you want to really take advantage of it rather than being the victim to it, because that's kind of, again, the energy of this 13-4 has a tendency to cause us to go into victim mode. So I can't stress enough how important it's going to be for you to really stay in touch with what you're trying to create rather than what you're not. So basically, you got to stay in that half full cup rather than the half empty cup, because whatever you focus on is really what you're bringing closer. So everything you look at, every situation you look at, you have to be prepared under this energy to look at it a little bit differently. The 5 energy, which is not at play this month, but the 5 energy asks us to be a bit more flexible, right? And to kind of roll with it. And the 4 says, no, I don't want to. I'm going to be rigid. I'm going to see everything in black and white. No, I'm stuck. Well, feeling stuck is a choice, right? However you choose to feel is entirely up to you. But the thing is with the 4, if you think about it as building bricks, building blocks, so to speak, you can't build a foundation if you're too focused on how many bricks you don't have, right? So if I give you 3 bricks to add to your foundation, rather than looking at that going, oh, great, that's not going to get me too far, take a look at that and go, wow, that's 3 more bricks than what I had, right? That is going to help keep with the momentum rather than feeling stuck all the time. Now, when I was pondering the message today, I was wondering, what does Spirit have to say about all of this? What card could I pull for you guys that would help you to focus in maybe a different direction? What is it that you're intended to focus on? So I went into my Soul's Journey lesson cards, my favorite ones. These are from James van Praagh. And I just asked Spirit, show me the card that our listeners need. And this is the one that came up. It's the happiness card. And it says, I am aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. So let me just read it to you. I think it's a really good message. Hang on. Let's see. He goes on to say, before incarnating, your soul created a blueprint for you to follow in this physical dimension. The easiest way to chart this path is to follow your bliss. Life is full of choices and opportunities. Spirit, in its infinite wisdom, has given you the emotion of happiness to guide you. The signposts are always there, but you have to acknowledge them and have the courage to follow them. As you hold this card, do you feel that you are living a life of happiness? In what area is it lacking? It may be time to be truthful with your soul self. Listen to its language and intuit if there is someone or scenario holding you back from experiencing complete happiness. Even though it may be painful to admit, you need to be completely truthful. Be mindful of how happiness will affect every aspect of your life on your path. Also, intuit if there is someone else in your life who needs to be brought into the awareness of happiness. This is important to recognize as well. Others will want to learn from you, and whether you admit it or not, you can be their teacher. When you are filled with love and compassion, not only do you bring happiness into your life, but you lead others by example. So be the light. And further to that message, when I looked at something asked me to look at this card a little further, the word happiness vibrates at a master number 44, okay? And 8 is the number of manifestation. So I think that's a huge message for this month. You can choose to be as happy as you want. You can be as miserable as you want, but the choice is yours, right? So you're always co-creating with the universe. But understanding that sometimes we get put through our paces, and the energy of the 13-4 causes us to feel a little bit limited and restricted. But your job is to overcome that. Your job is to say, I'm not accepting that. I'm choosing not to accept that. I am choosing to accept that I can be happy. I can be fruitful. I can be abundant. I can be whatever, right? So your mantra for this month is, I'm choosing to stay in the half full cup. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I know you're going to kick some serious butt going through, knowing that you have a little bit more information to go on now. Susan, what have you got to say about July of 2022?
Wow. Well, I love that card, and I think that that's fantastic. And 44 is one of my favorite numbers, and you just helped validate why. So I love that.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I agree. It's going to be, a little restricted, but it's going to be how you interpret it and what you want to learn from it and grow from it. So, July 13th is the full moon. It's in Capricorn. So no surprise, because we're talking organization, it's ruled by Saturn, which is associated with the 10th house, is social status, and it kind of, will be illuminating your professional life, so it's going to bring things up about what can you do about it, where can you take action, where do you need to step back, allowing yourself to understand it. It can bring exciting new opportunities professionally. It can be open to receive it, and if you're still stuck, as Anne mentioned, in lack, then you're going to probably get the same return. You have to be willing to know you're worthy to receive it and believe in that. Now, whatever began around January of 2022 is either coming to fruition around this time. So you want to pay attention and think back to January. Okay, what was going on? What seeds was I planting then? What was I working on? What's coming up now? How has it transpired? Whatever you started doing then. And you might even feel the urge to complete a project. It might be a time frame where you're like, okay, I need that foundation. I need structure. I need to make sure how I'm building this. You can't just put up, 2 walls and a floor and expect yourself to be able to keep the roof on, right? You're going to need all the pieces together. And then we have the new moon in Leo on July 28th. So Leo, of course, that spotlight thing that happens. So it's getting out in the spotlight. But, for some people, they love that. And there's other people who can't stand it. And they just, again, they're looking at, are they not worthy enough? Or, I'm not good enough or whatever. And also perfection comes up with this too. And it's knowing that you can never wait. Some people want to start a project or do something and they get stuck on that perfection of, well, I need to tweak it a little more. I need to do this a little more. And you have to be willing to step out of that comfort zone, right? And take the constructive criticism that might come because you're going to learn from it. Einstein and all of them, they went through many upheavals before they finally got success. And a lot of times that's what we individuals have to go through in this planet. It's just the process of life and how we learn and how we grow. Of course, the new moon in Leo is an excellent time for goals again. So I feel like between Capricorn and Leo, we're really getting lots of push to do something that enhances us. It doesn't always have to be career. I know it tends to focus on that, but I will say, in congruency with what Anne said, think about it as with yourself too, like your relationships. And what can you be doing differently for yourself? Where are you holding so firm on something that you're not seeing what's in front of you? Now, some people get so caught up in, manifesting their belief and what they want to have. And it's going to be this way and it's going to look like that and be like that. And this amazing opportunities right in front of them, and they're so busy looking at their particular thing that they wanted to manifest, they're missing it. So this will definitely be the month to go, okay, I'm open to receive, because let's face it, a lot of times what we think is best for us isn't always right. Sometimes you have to surrender to the universe, God, creator, spirit, whatever, you are, using as your source, and let them guide you where you need to be. Be willing to say, okay, I understand I'm feeling stuck and this feels safe. And that's another thing I want to jump in real quick with feeling safe. It's familiar, right? It's the subconscious mind's so powerful. It lives in patterns and habits. So it wants to keep you safe. So it thinks, even though it's yucky, it's like, oh, but this feels better. Remember, this is where you're comfortable. So that's going to be this 4-month of feeling very restricted and understanding why. You want to ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Am I willing to take a step out? What if I look at this cup half full instead of half empty? What if I believe that I'm worthy to receive this instead of I'm not good enough? It's all perception. It's all your belief system. And that's going to be really important for July.
I love that you said, what if? And that just kind of hit a trigger with me. What if? Why can't you experience abundance? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're right. The whole idea of security comes to play in the energy of the 4. Everybody wants everything to stay the same, but you can't grow if you're going to stay the same. It's not possible.
Exactly. Exactly. And when I think of those 4 walls, that's what it makes me think of, is stuck like in this box. Like I'm just stuck in this box. It's safe. But how long are you going to stay there? You're just going to deteriorate in those 4 walls.
And it takes a lot of energy to stay stuck.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, you think about that. It takes a lot of energy to keep yourself in that box. Why not just take that energy and expend it trying to take some risks? What if you're successful? What if you do well? What if change is a good thing?
Yes.
What if you do release and surrender and let go and allow the universe to bring you what you need rather than what you think you need?
Yeah. I think you could actually even, each one of you out there could take a little sheet of paper and write down probably 4 things, we'll go with 4, that you can say that happened in your life when you took a chance that ended up going well. or
Yeah,
when you
good
stepped out
idea.
of your comfort zone and it went well. I mean, hey,
Yeah,
it's scary. I'm not one to jump on the roller coaster ride, but you know what?
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes
yeah.
you go, okay, I'm going to see what this is going to bring me, and open that door and be willing to take some criticism too, because that's another Leo thing. Is Leo is just they want to look good and feel good and make sure everyone thinks how that they're worth the approval, and it's like, be willing to say, what can I let go of and just embrace about myself, because what we're seeing in front of us is just the suit we wear as a human, but
Mhm.
inside is where your soul is, and that's what you want to shine, and that's what you want to be out and let others enjoy your light.
Yeah, so the energy moving forward might feel somewhat stuck and limiting, but maybe it's a time for a little bit of a timeout too. Maybe you've been going in the wrong direction. This whole card talks about the path and feeling right when you're on the path, going in the right direction. But sometimes the four causes us to feel so, you know, extremely focused to just plow forward without looking at maybe there's a different way to go. Maybe there's a
Yeah.
different possibility, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
100%. Yeah. I think that's exactly what it's saying. It's
timeout.
letting you know there's always something else out there.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many clients I've worked with that have that mentality of, but I'm manifesting and it's like this. And then sometimes they get it and they're like, it's not the relationship or whatever, what I thought it was. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you have to be willing to say, even for my highest good, show me
Yep.
the way for my highest good and what's in alignment with me. And that's what I think that card talks about, is what feels right to you. I mean, if you're pushing ahead and you're like, okay, this is what I choose, this is what I want, but you're feeling this anxiety, and you have to check in with your body. Is this fear or is it excitement?
Right.
Is it fear from past, things that have happened that are keeping me stuck, or is it fear of not feeling worthy enough, or is it something that's saying you're in the wrong direction? So it's going to be important, I think, this month to check in with yourself a lot.
Yeah, and the other thing too we have to take a little bit of a note of is that we're still in 2022 last time I checked.
Yeah.
So that brings in that sixth vibration, which causes us all to feel a bigger need to be responsible and to do the right thing, and that in itself keeps us a little bit stuck as well. So trying to tap into heart energy, trying to tap into how you feel rather than what you think,
Yeah.
would be really helpful this month as well.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
yeah. Did you pick any cards for us this month?
I did.
Yay.
Okay, I like this one too. It says, return to the body. When I'm caught up in a stressful moment, I can move my awareness to my body. Is my jaw clenched? Is my body tense? How is my posture? This helps me to see where I can relax and let go of tension. Now I can return to any situation more calm and present. So this is what it's called, mindful messages, and that's what it looks like.
Oh, nice.
Okay. But I think that's what it's, and I did pull one from Archangel Michael too, but I believe what that's just trying to tell us is, what I just mentioned earlier, feel into what are you
Mhm.
feeling? Because your body is always talking to you. It's
Yeah.
letting you know, hello, this is not comfortable.
Yeah.
Or is it excitement or is it fear? What is it? Okay. So, Archangel Michael, what I have here is, it says, forgive yourself, you've done nothing wrong. And the prayer is, I ask that you help me let go of self blame and forgive myself. Please guide me in releasing any toxic anger or fear towards others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for allowing me to feel centered and at peace. I like that, because sometimes we can get caught up
Mhm.
in, it's their fault or it's my fault or it's, that person's the reason why, blah, blah, blah. And it's taking
Well,
ownership of, where can I do something different?
right. There's a big theme though, about that in 2022, and it's taking on more responsibility than what is really yours, and
Yes.
learning how to balance that and learning how to fill your cup. So I really feel that this month coming up is going to take us to task on that. So don't be surprised if you feel really trapped by um, an
Obligation.
obligation, to
Yeah.
be of servitude. You be careful that you try to stay in alignment with being of service rather than servitude.
Yeah.
Um, Doing things because you want to do things rather than a sense of obligation. because this big dynamic 6 energy and all those 2s in there relate to home and family and relationships. So yeah, I think it's really important to tune in to your body. You know, you maybe remember when I had my gallbladder out several years ago, and after the surgery, the surgeon came to me and she said, "How could you not know how sick you were?" I only ever had one gallbladder attack, right? Which led me to having it out. And she said, "How could you not have known how sick you were?" And I just said, I didn't know, right? And then I thought back on it and went, oh yeah, right. My body was sending me all kinds of signs that there were problems, but nothing significant enough that would make me say, oh, I got to go to the doctor, or I've got to change the way I eat, or whatever. So yeah, you're absolutely right. You've got to tune in. Your body is always talking to you, for sure.
Always, always, yeah. And that the first half of July, we're in Cancer still. So, that's all about, emotions and nurturing and being the one that wants to take care of everyone too. Sometimes they can feel that deep connection where, they want to take care of everyone and be the mothering or parent. And it's going to be important to balance that giving and receiving for sure. And then we go into Leo, where it then becomes more about the self too, where they can be very much about look at me, but then they can be very critical of themselves too. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be a big month to really examine a lot about who you are.
Yeah, I think this whole year is. I think the whole year is.
Sure.
It has a lot to do with going within and finding out who you are and what you really want. How do you, and maybe that's what this 13-4 influence is about, taking a step back, rather than being the bull, and just running forward and going after whatever it is you think you want. How about we pause long enough to ask? That's one thing, we talk a lot, but sometimes we don't pause long enough. You can put your prayers out there, but how often do you pause long enough to hear the answers?
Right. Very true.
Yeah, that might be a time to ponder that a little bit.
Absolutely.
Anyway, anything you got new coming up?
Not anything really new. I'm still offering my courses and Step Into Your Magnificent courses, which are
Awesome.
wonderful and transformational. So I'm doing that, coaching one-on-ones, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to be doing some mini sessions that'll be coming up soon, that I'm going to do a package of 3. And, of course, for all subscribers, they get a nice discount. And that will be I'm going to do some deep clinical hypnotherapy stuff in these to really help bring some changes, transformations, and releasing of some limiting beliefs and blocks. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, if anybody is unaware, Susan has an amazing channel on YouTube. And it's just Susan Saucier on
Yes,
YouTube, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think, I think that is. But there's lots of meditations there. Anything you're looking for, it's there. She does a great job. Oh my God, they're beautiful. I put one in the monthly newsletter that's coming out shortly, so you might want to check out for that. I've got the opening of the Clarity Seekers community is opening up in July. So there's only a few weeks left where you can still get in for $11 a month, or $65 for the whole year. And I even throw in a free course that's worth $47. Hello. That's a bit of a no-brainer. So check it out on my website. Right now it's called the Master Number 11 membership, but I am opening the doors to everyone because Spirit is going bonkers to ask me to expand and open it up to everyone. So I hope that you'll check that out, because we really are catering to the energetically sensitive and the empaths who need a little bit of support. So there's all kinds of expansion going on in there, but you got to get in before mid-July because the price is going up significantly. So if you want to get in on that price, you can, and that is a lifetime guarantee. It's never going to go up for you. So giddy up, let's do it.
Yes, it's well worth it, everyone. And Anne is amazing. I know you always offer some stuff on me, and I just want to, let people know that I've had my numerology chart written with you years ago and just blown away by your intuitive side to it too, and it still comes in so handy. So if you're feeling a little stuck in anything else, there you go.
Well, I want to say the same. Oops. Here.
I know, right? Not sure if it's showing, mirroring, or where it's going, but
that's it. Anyway, thanks, Susan. Really appreciate it. And
you're welcome.
I really hope that everybody out there is in the process of creating your best day ever. Yes. See you in August. Bye for now.